This video, I'm going to be breaking down the new route commit feature in College Football 26 and why it is the most effective way to be playing defense right now. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I do videos every single day on college football, and when Madden comes out, I'll be doing Madden as well. And basically, we're going to be talking today about a new feature that they added into the game that is known as the route commit feature. And I'm going to be breaking this down within what I think is one of the better offenses in the game, the normal Y off close. Now, the biggest thing with this is the way that I like to play defense with this route commit feature is essentially within the context of a man to man defensive meta. And we're going to be taking a look at just the simple mid blitz out of nickel double muck. Now, if you guys want to check out a little bit more about this defense, it's going to be in our school community, completely broken down. Schools where you get access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks for just $10. And if you guys want to sign up, that link is going to be in the description below. That gets you both Madden and college football. But what I want to talk about is how to use the route commit feature, and then the best type of shading that you can do that I think is going to really help get you consistent stops. So first and foremost, what is the best shade to do, and how do you do the route commit? So the way that you do route commit is you're actually going to hit Y or triangle. You're going to then quick adjust your player, and then you're going to hit the icon. And as you can see here, actually, what was I apologize. I told you the wrong button. You're gonna hit triangle or Y, and then you're gonna hit X, which is individual. And then what that does is it allows you to select the receiver's icon. So for example, anyone that is manned up against the receiver's icon that you select is going to shade how you want. Now, what you can do, there's actually two options. You can flick the right joystick, which is going to give you what is known as like a stock shade. So, for example, if I flick the right joystick to the right, you'll see that the corner is going to slightly go to the right. If I flick it to the left, he goes back, as you see right there. If I back it up, he goes back. And then if I press, he's actually going to come up and press him in man-to-man coverage. So this is really your menu for, pressing, backing off. It's a pre-snap alignment kind of menu, and that is the right joystick. So any receiver you select, we can shade him to the right, we can shade him to the left, right? It's a pre-snap alignment. But what route commit is it's a post-snap reaction, and it's going to tell the player what type of leverage to play within the man coverage that they're running. So what I like to do is utilize a very specific type of leverage. So the way that you do that is you're going to hit Y or triangle. You're going to hit X or A, depending on your console, for individual coverage. You're then going to go to, in this case, we're going to do square for Ryan Wingo. And then we are going to route commit. As you see here, you can route commit. You can only choose two options for route committing. You can either choose left or right. If you choose up on the D-pad, nothing really happens. And if you choose down on the left stick, then it will reset it to its default kind of shade. So what I like to do is I like to shade outside players inside, and I like to route commit inside players to the outside. So I'll show you what this would look like. For example, here, we're going to do no shade, and we're going to just stock shade them inside. What I want you to see is how this reacts to this post route here on the right-hand side. And again, we'll just try to kind of clear out space for this route. As you see, that sharp cutting post is able to beat him to the inside. Didn't get a great pass, but he's able to get the separation needed to the inside of the field. So what we're going to do now is we're going to simply do the route commits. We're going to do any pre-snap anything. So we're going to get triangle, X, square for Ryan Wingo, and then we're going to hit inside on our left stick. You see he doesn't move, so there's also no tell that we're doing that. And what you're going to see now is that when they run this play, Ryan Wingo on this post route, you're going to see that he is going to get played perfectly, and he's not really going to be able to throw that. At worst, it's going to be a catch knockout. So as you see there, you're able to really overcommit to whatever you want. Now that being said, there is obviously a trade-off. And so this is why it comes back to understanding what they're actually going to run on you. So the trade-off is if I was to shade him inside, now we're going to put him on like a comeback route or a corner route, for example. And what you're going to see here is when we isolate this, he is going to be able to win to the outside. Didn't actually win that great. And that's where we wanted to talk about understanding why you're shading certain receivers to certain spots. You are trying to predict the type of routes that they are going to run. And in general, most of the time, outside receivers, because they removed speed outs from outside receivers, most of the time when they're trying to beat man coverage, what are the man coverage beating routes? On the inside receivers like tight ends, slot receivers, there are a couple of really popular man beating routes. The first one is a zig. The second one is a corner route. The third one is a slot fade if you're playing cover zero. So all of those routes, if you think about it, and also a speed out, all of those routes go to the outside of the field. So literally it's things like this. So if you take a look at my offensive play call here, you're going to see we're going to get a zig here. We might do a speed out over here. We might do a corner route to the tight end. You see what I'm saying? And then the running back, it's actually the kind of opposite. I think most common, it's going to be this Texas route or a running back in route. That being said, on the outside receiver, like Ryan Wingo here, the most popular routes to beat man are going to be curl routes. They're going to be post routes. They're going to be smart routed or deep in routes. Those are the popular routes. So what you want to do here is you want to shade your inside receivers. This is provided, obviously, that they are, this is provided, that they're not just, killing you with a slot post or something. If they are, you can obviously shade them inside. But you want to, in general, shade your slot receivers and your tight ends. You want to route commit them to the outside. So how are we going to do that? We're just going to go through and we're just going to select the icon and we're going to shade all of them outside. We're not universally shading. We are individually shading. That is so important. And then the running back, I like to individually shade him inside. And then the outside receiver, I like to individually shade him inside. And this gives you the proper leverage to play all of the receivers on the field. And so what you're going to see here is the zig is going to be defended. The corner route is going to be defended. The post route is going to be defended, right? Everything gets bagged because we've chosen the proper shading. Now, that being said, what you have to be ready for is your user responsibility within a man-to-man coverage based on the shading that you selected. So if we go back to kind of this original example where we're shading the slot receivers to the outside, we're shading the tight end to the outside, then what we need to be ready for is this post, or not post, I'm sorry, slant route to the slot receiver. So one of the best things you can do is, in my opinion, take one of these, like if you're just sitting four, one of the best things you can do here is you can have one of these guys be in either a hook or a purple so that they can help play over the middle of the field. I like two hook curls. You could do a purple and a hook curl. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, it's up to you, of course. But if I'm only sitting four, I think this is a great way to play defense because you don't really get beat over the top in this game, especially if you're backed off in your man coverage. And so as long as you have the right underneath zones, it becomes really, really good. So you're going to see here, we have a slant. We might have a tight end drag. We might have a streak, right? These are popular, routes. So again, this is why I might want to have like a hard flat here. But what you're going to see is if I user this, the slant is going to kill him. As you see right there, the slant kills him. So I have to, as a user defender, be ready for that. So you'll see this right here. And if they're running a lot of slants, that's something that you need to kind of adjust to. And maybe you don't route commit to the outside on that specific receiver. But as you see here, by having these two underneath zones, it really helps kind of prevent where I could get beat over the middle of the field. My user's able to take that away. And as you see, we play, pretty good defense. Now, that being said, every now and then, you're going to kind of take a little bit of a gamble and you're going to send some pressure here. So let's say, we get that same combination, but we know we're going to send some pressure. So because we know we're going to send some pressure here, we're going to now route commit everybody to the inside. And the reason why we're going to route commit everybody to the inside is because we know that when we send pressure, those corner routes take a little bit of time to develop. It's hard to hit them quick. Zigs take some time to develop. And what you'll see now is the shade inside takes that away. So a lot of it is about mastering, are you shading inside or outside? And what you're going to really decide that based on the routes that they are running consistently. And the biggest thing with it is you might situationally need to change it up because the general principle is shade outside players to the inside and shade inside players to the outside. That is the general universal principle for playing man coverage. However, if they start to consistently hit you with a slant post combination of the inside here, like a shallow cross type of deal, which I think is one of the best ways to beat man in this game, then you need to be ready for that, and then you need to adjust to that accordingly, or you just need to user it, because that's where my user is, and we could just say, okay, we're just going to user that, and we're going to remain with that shade outside. So anyways, that is kind of what I see as being, at least in my opinion, one of the better ways to play defense right now is using this route commit feature. If you guys want to learn how to run double mug, if you learn how to run any of the defenses that are quasi relevant right now in college football 26, join our school community. That's going to be in the description down below. It's only $10. It gets you access to all of my full offensive and defensive ebooks, mini schemes, pro tips, everything that you need to succeed in both Madden and college football. Thanks for watching the video. To sign up for the school community, head down to the description and click the link down below.